It's definitely not the best spot to have coming right after Madam Nurul and her speech. And clearly, a lot of the focus was about financing and about money. So hopefully we'll be able to shed some light. But before I begin, the one speaker has left. He kept calling me young man. So, I was a little bit afraid to pull out my glasses. But now that he's left, I guess I can pull it out. Firstly, Yang Bahagia Tuan Wong Chen, MP for Subang and Chairman of the Special Select Committee on International Relations and International Trade. YB Dato Indra Muhammad Shah bin Abdullah, MP for Paya Besar and Chairperson for the Special Select Committee for Finance and Economy. Yang Bahagia Senator Puan Hajah Fuzia binti Saleh, Deputy Minister of Domestic Trade and Cost of Living Malaysia. Madam Nurul Izzah Anwar, Co-Chairperson of the Secretariat Advisory Committee to Finance Minister. Mr. Farouz Nada, Executive Director of the UN Global Compact Network, Malaysia and Brunei. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning, selamat pagi, and salam sejahtera. Now, sustainability is not a new topic by far, with the concept evolving over time, becoming more definitive until it has now been identified as what it is today. Now, there are three important aspects of sustainable development, namely the social, economic, and environmental pillars. Madam Nurul Izzah touched a lot about, and it's good to hear about the balance between not just the sustainability piece, which we hear a lot about, but needing to balance the E component, the S component, and the G component. And only when they come together can we actually see positive progress. Now, recognizing that they are interconnected has changed the way we, as responsible citizens of the world, make the decisions which impacts the three bottom lines relating to our sustainability efforts, namely people, planet, and profit. Malaysia, as a member of the United Nations and a signee of the Paris Agreement, has shown strong support of the global efforts to transition to become a more sustainable society. Since the ratification of the agreement, the government has launched various new policies, initiatives, and frameworks, such as the National Energy Transition Roadmap and the National Energy Policy, which are pivotal guiding documents to help guide and support corporates, businesses, and the rakyat along this important transition phase to a more sustainable future. At Alliance Bank, we are supportive of the government's initiatives to advance the nation's sustainability agenda, which aims to achieve the target of becoming a net zero emission nation by 2050, while also supporting the UN Sustainable Development Goals to be a sustainable, resilient, and inclusive nation. One of the key points I took away from the fireside chat is, and I think, sometimes when we talk about social protection, you're spot on, especially in the corporate sector, you miss the fact that it's not about vulnerability, it's not about income levels, it really is about circumstance and state and could happen to anyone else. So looking more broadly on social protection has to be looked at in that context rather than how I would say many people would have looked at it. Today's event here, in the hallowed halls of our nation's democracy, aims to foster dialogue and encourage collaboration between policymakers and corporate leaders to identify the challenges and opportunities through sustainability and finance, leading to the development of effective, relevant solutions for businesses adopting ESG practices. This is how it sounds like, right, when you read off a script. As such, we are proud to support today's event, the Go ESG 2023 Sustainable Finance Symposium, which is presented by a long-term strategic partner, and I would now say our friend, the UN Global Compact, Malaysia and Brunei, UNGC, MYB, whom we share strong values with and work closely together to advance the adoption of sustainability among SMEs here in Malaysia. Now, with Alliance Bank, we spend a lot of time looking at the SME and mid-market segment. Because, we speak a lot about financial access, financial inclusivity. We speak a lot about transition. But what we need to understand is that access to funding is dissimilar at different levels of the private sector. Larger corporates, larger multinationals have different access to capital markets, different tools, versus someone who is coming through the SME chain, and we are asking them to transition. We keep telling them we need to transition. At Alliance Bank, we went back and didn't want to just wait at the end. We wanted to see how we can help with that transition plan, support them from the start of the thinking process through understanding what their issues really are, instead of telling them what their issues are, working with like-minded partners like UNGC, MYB, and a suite of other partners to be able to help them down that journey and to be there with the financing solutions that completes that entire journey. Now, mirroring other nations around the world, Malaysian SMEs form the backbone of our local economy in Malaysia. They make up 97% of the businesses here and contribute some 38% of the country's GDP. It goes without saying, their transition to become more ESG-centric is crucial to moving the needle and meeting the goals of the nation's agenda. Now, along what I was talking about, earlier this year, we launched a jointly commissioned ESG report with UNGC MYB and SME Corporation Malaysia. The report titled ESG Insights from Malaysian SMEs, Building a Better Future Together, drew its insights from in-depth interviews, surveys among subject matter experts, ESG champions of the world, as well as SMEs from varying industries, to give a broad overview of the challenges, opportunities, and levels of adoption for ESGs amongst the businesses. So we went out and we asked the SMEs themselves, what are your challenges? What do you need for that journey? And craft our solutions to meet their needs. Again, instead of assuming we always know what the problems are. And we found that Malaysian SMEs face unique challenges in their journey towards sustainability, depending on where they are on their sustainability journey. But the key themes that emerged largely are the lack of resources, such as incentives, talent, and know-how. Others also pointed to the difficulty in finding frameworks and other relevant information that are specific to SMEs, making it quite a challenge for them to build a personalized roadmap towards sustainability, which is relevant to their businesses. Now, the insights that we've published, it's available online as well as very, very limited hard copies. All right, so try to read it online. But as you go through the list of challenges, you see that financing is not the highest in their agenda. I think what they need to do really is to figure out how they need to have this done. Today, I'm happy to announce that Alliance Bank will be expanding our partnership with UNGC MYB for the next 3 years to assist in this measure and to help transition through a combination of capacity building, enhanced tools, and financing support. Alliance Bank, we have already put out 10 billion in sustainable financing this year, and our target is to take it up to 15 billion for the rest of the next 2 years. With that, I've got the red card, so I'm going to just speed up and wrap up. But kidding aside, I mean, thank you very much to UNGC MYB for organizing this. Thank you for allowing such an event to happen within the hallowed halls of our democracy. And it's been a privilege for being provided a spot to be able to speak about Alliance's journey. And we hope that coming together really is also about working at getting our SME and mid-markets through this transition, working with them instead of telling them what they need to do, guide them along that journey. Alliance Bank is in for the ride. We hope to work with everyone else to be able to get that done. With that, thank you very much.